Hello, my name is Christian, and the title to my speech is The Night I Chose to Not Quit. Can I ask you something? Have you ever been so close to quitting but something didn't let you? Well, today I will be telling you about the night where I stared at my ceiling for hours, not because I couldn't sleep, but because I didn't know who I was going to be that next morning. I remember my phone being face down, my laptop closed, and with zero motivation. And my mind was just thinking about every outcome to the decision that was going to change my life, either for good or for bad. I had two options. My first option was dropping out of college, go back home to Lancaster, start working full time, help my family, and try to build something with my hands instead of putting in the hard work to become the person I was aiming to be. Now, my second option was to stay in college, stay in a system where I felt behind, overwhelmed, and honestly embarrassed. Embarrassed because I would be staying knowing I was on academic probation, staying knowing that this might be my last chance. And that night, the decision I took would determine the outcome of my future. So, what did I do? I chose not to quit, and I carried the weight of almost giving up. And up, up until that point, quitting felt like the most logical thing to do because I was behind on assignments. It was finals week. Um, I had stacked deadlines, unread emails, and a GPA that didn't reflect how hard I thought I was working and trying. And the worst part wasn't my grades. The worst part was me telling myself maybe college isn't for me. Maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe everyone else figured it out and I just couldn't. I started comparing myself to people who look confident, organized, and successful. But what I didn't see was their doubts, the moments they would panic, the nights where they would get any sleep. All I saw was my own failure. So when I thought about leaving, it didn't feel like I was giving up. It felt like a relief. But something stopped me. Not motivation, not a speech, and especially not a miracle. It was a question I asked myself. If I leave now, will it be because I'm scared? And that question made me rethink everything because the answer was so obvious. I wasn't trying to leave because I didn't care. I cared a lot, but I didn't want everyone to watch me fail. That's when I realized something, that fear doesn't look like panic. Sometimes it looks like logic. Sometimes it looks like responsibility. And sometimes it looks like quitting early. So you don't have to see yourself failing. Or that's what I thought was going to happen. And that night, I decided to stay, not because I was confident, but because I was curious. Curious to know who I would become if I didn't run away when everything felt wrong. And staying didn't fix everything, but it changed me. Choosing to stay didn't suddenly make me organized, it didn't erase missing assignments, it didn't magically boost my GPA. But what did change was how I showed up. And for the first time, I stopped waiting to feel ready. I worked tiredly, I worked stressed out, and I turned in assignments that weren't to the best of my work, but they were done. I asked for help instead of pretending like I didn't need it. I emailed my professors. I stopped chasing motivation, and instead I started chasing discipline. And slowly something changed. Not my grades, but my mindset. That learned progress doesn't come from confidence. Confidence comes after the progress you've made. And that decision to not quit taught me a lesson that I carry into everything now. First, I learned that struggling isn't proof that you're failing, but struggle is proof that you're actually trying. And we love talking about success, but we don't talk about the struggles that come in between success. The days we feel zero motivation to do anything, where progress feels slow, but you keep choosing to show up. Second, one bad season does not define your future. I thought that my lowest moment was proof of who I was, but it wasn't. It was just a chapter. And third, discipline beats motivation every time. Motivation is emotional, discipline is a choice. And choices repeated daily change the way you live and think. And this decision wasn't just about school, it changed how I approach life. And now, when things get hard, I don't immediately look for an exit route, I look for effort. Whenever I feel behind, I don't quit. I recalibrate and give myself moments to breathe because I've learned to question fear instead of letting it decide for me. And I've learned something very important in this journey, and it's that decisions that change your life don't announce themselves. They're quiet, and they're made when no one is watching but only you. Maybe today you're watching this with your own struggles. Maybe it's a struggle with school. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a dream you've been preparing to abandon or quit. And I'm not here to tell you to never quit because I once felt like quitting. Sometimes quitting is a brave choice and maybe the better choice for the moment. But before you do, I I would ask myself something before you do it. Are you walking away because you're actually done or because you're afraid of who you might become if you stay? The night I chose to not quit, I didn't know how things would turn out. I just know I wasn't done. And sometimes that's enough to change everything. Thank you.